Yes, and here we are. It's August 1st, 2016, and I'm going to listen to some speaking practice tests today. All right, so let's see what we have. Okay, the first one, it looks like it's an independent speaking practice test number 5. Yeah, hi there. These comments are for Preets, and I am Michael, the founder, owner, and the materials writer for all of your lessons at the 7-step system to pass a TOEFL IBT. And I'm going to listen to, I think it's your independent speaking practice test number 5. All right, so let's take a look at this one. So number 5 says, describe an important person in your life, then explain why the person is important to you. Okay, this is a particularly hard question because of the description aspect of the question, so it's requiring very specific vocabulary.
The person with whom I really influenced and admired is my father, because he is a very hard-working person. He always do hard work, not for himself.
He always does hard work, I think. Listen to that again.
A hard-working person. He always do hard work.
Yeah, he always does hard work. So use the singular verb there.
Not for himself, but for his family, like for me and my brother.
Okay.
My grandparents are not rich, so that's why he didn't get much good education. But he always want us to get good education and get the professional job. So that's why he helped me to take medical as major, and I become physical therapist. I remember that we are sleeping when he was wake up like at 5 a.m. to go for his work. And another best thing about my father is he's always positive and motivated. When things going down for us,
he's positive and motivating, I think.
And another best thing about my father is he's always positive and motivated. When things going down for us,
You can say positive and motivated. You're saying your father's motivated to work hard so that you and your brother can have a good education.
Help us to cope with these problems.
Okay. Thank you for completing that practice test, by the way. Now, the real issue is describing him. So you explain more why the person is important to you, but you didn't really describe him very much. So I think you've talked about some of his physical features, how tall, how short he is, does he have black or brown hair, blonde hair, what does he actually look like? Does he wear glasses? Is he more of a professional? You did say a little bit about that, but I think you could describe, I think, your father a little bit more than you did. All right, now having said that, let's go over to the rubrics. You can click on the rubrics in this discussion thread too if you want to see why you got the score you did. Let me take a look at it. Okay, on this one, so I think in this one, like I said, the biggest issue is probably topic development. I think you had some minor language use issues. You remember with my father, does instead of do, and maybe with delivery, sometimes there is some unclear pronunciation of certain words. All right, your score here, I'm going to put you at 2.3 out of 4, 18 points out of 30 on this practice test. And that's it. That's this particular one. So I just need to save or file right now, upload it, and need to upload my comments now. Okay, I'm uploading them right now. let's go to the next one now. Hi, these comments are for Dieta79, and I am Michael, the founder, owner, and the materials writer for all of your lessons at the 7-step system to pass a TOEFL IBT. And you answered independent speaking practice number 201. Wow, you have sure done a lot of practice over the last month or so. Okay, question here is, what will you do if your friend offends you? Be sure to use specific examples and details to explain how you would react. All right.
If my friend offended me for the first time, I would forgive her. For example, when
Okay, so you're using the past tense to talk about a present and possible situation. I think it works.
in high school, my friend Sarah once offended me by telling my math teacher that I didn't do my homework. As a result of her lie, my math teacher...
By telling you what?
When I was in high school, my friend Sarah once offended me by telling my math teacher that I didn't do my homework.
By nasty something, I can't get part of what you're saying there. I apologize.
As a result of her lie, my math teacher punished me by preventing me from attending the recess for a week. I forgave Sarah because this was her first time to offend me. However, if my friend kept offending me more and more, I would cut my relationship with her. For instance, when I...
Yeah, you can probably say cut off or sever or eliminate my relationship. So I guess you can say the word cut. It's a little bit informal, but you could do it.
During the university, Sarah kept offending me by telling my professors that I didn't do my share in the projects. And because what she was saying was a lie, I cut my friendship with her.
Yes, man, this is a friend from hell, it sounds like. All right, anyway, let's go ahead and look at the rubrics here. So I think overall you answered the question. You had a good organization, I think, with some relevant supporting detail, pretty good control of your vocabulary and your grammar. And in terms of delivery, that's where we're running into a little bit of problems. I had some issues with the delivery. You remember that one? She said nasty something. I couldn't quite hear what you were saying. If you can maybe type that, or I want you, maybe when you do your next recording, take that full sentence and then re-record it, and then write the sentence also down for me so I can listen to it. I can give you a little bit more feedback with your pronunciation. All right, so your score here, minor delivery issues, so other than that, it was good. I'm going to put you at 3.0 to 3.1 out of 4, 23 to 24 points out of 30. So if you didn't get the score 4 on this one, it would probably be because of delivery. All right, thank you. All right, I'm uploading this one. That's number 2. Okay, now we're ready for number 3. Let's see what we have now. That's just how it works. Every day my students, they get practice tests from my website, they upload them, and I listen and comment on them the next day. Oh, we got a pronunciation pretest here. Wow, that's going to take some time. This one's never easy, but it's part of my job. I need to help students in every manner I can, including pronunciation. All right, so I'm going to go into our website now. I like to open up I think pronunciation, which is connected to delivery, is, in most cases, when students are about 22 to 23 points out of 30, 9 times out of 10, the reason they're not getting 26 on speaking is because of delivery. That typically is the reason. Like the last speaker, you remember that last one, Dieta 79, really, she's got a great organization. Excuse me, she doesn't have any problems with her vocabulary or grammar, but she does have some intelligibility or delivery issues. And once she solves those problems, her score is going to go up. It's going to get very high very quickly. Okay, let's go to the pronunciation section of my course. This is the step 2 of the 7-step system. Okay, now I go to the pre-test. Okay, here we go.
Hi, Professor Mike. Good evening. This is Partha Sarathi from Okemos, Michigan. I am happy to subscribe your TOEFL. Hi, Professor.
Okay, so he didn't really do the I thought he did the pre-test, but he's talking to me, so I'm going to talk to him. Whenever my students make a comment, I always try to listen to everything that they're saying, because my job is they need to know that I am supporting them. That's what I'm trying to do. Yeah, hi there. These comments here are for Sarah Thiep, and I am Michael, the founder, owner, and the materials writer for all of your lessons at the 7-step system to pass the TOEFL IBT.
Hi, Professor Mike. Good evening.
Good evening to you.
This is Partha Sarathi from
Nice to meet you.
Okemos, Michigan.
And guess what? I live in Oak Hills, California, so we have about a 2-hour or 3-hour time
Happy
difference.
to subscribe your TOEFL sections to my TOEFL
And I'm glad to have you as one of my students.
preparation. I'm willing to learn from you. Please help me in this.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
I will. So now that you figured out how to post a response at Voxipop, what you can do now is go to my website and you can find either any of the pronunciation practice exercises. You can also post independent and integrated speaking practice. You can post them here. Here's my rule. Don't post more than 60 seconds of practice for me on a daily basis. So if you miss 2 days, you can't on that day post 2 minutes. You can only post 60 seconds per day on any given day. Does that make sense? So that would be my comments there. So hopefully I will start to hear some of your speaking practice. And that's it. We're doing, it's number 11. Socialism.
Socialism?
Yeah. Okay, let me talk to this guy. You came early. Good job, man.
You can leave any comment or something. There is no comment or something. Can I lift it? My notes, if you know.
You can take notes.
I mean, my old notes, this one, no?
Yeah.
Huh?
You can use any notes today, anything.
So it's open book, yeah?
Mm-hmm. Open book. Yep. get out of your way for a minute. I'm doing a little bit of grading right now, so
We can start, yeah?
you can start whenever you want. Yeah? Okay, the next student here, let's see, okay, Marcelak. Yeah, hi there. These comments are from Marcelak, and I am Michael, the founder owner, and the materials writer for all of your lessons at the 7-step system to pass a TOEFL IBT, and you're completing independent speaking practice test number 21. All right, so let's take a look at what this practice test is. So give 2 solutions that you think can help air pollution, and this question actually appeared on the TOEFL IBT exam.
To reduce air pollution, I am thinking about using cars less and using solar panels. First of all, using car less means to replace it by another transportation means like a bicycle. For example, if I were going to my job, I would prefer to use a bicycle. If all people were doing that, the pollution generated by all the cars will reduce.
Would be reduced there, so I would use passive meaning there. So the pollution would be reduced by those people who are using their cars less. That's how I would say that.
In addition, using solar panels are useful too because they are not contaminating the air and are using just the solar light. Overall, because of that,
you need to make the connection there. So if you're using solar panels to generate electricity, it means that you're not getting your electricity from the coal burning plants, which also produce electricity and of course pollute the atmosphere. So you probably need to make that connection so we can understand the connection between how using solar panels to generate electricity is a better form of a cleaner form of electricity than the counterpart with the coal burning plants. All right?
those suggestions would help to reduce air pollution.
Yes, they would. Okay, let's take a look at the rubrics here on this one. So I'm going to put you a little bit below 3 on this one. So I think overall you had that problem, would reduce, would have, or would be reduced. So some minor problems with passive voice. And if you want to go to the internet and check it out, here are your key words. Using active and passive voice in English grammar. So you can look at that and study that a little bit. Overall, I think you had some good examples to support your ideas. So that was strong. Delivery, I think you're making some improvements there. I mean, I can understand everything you're saying and you're working on speaking a little bit faster. I'm going to give you 2.6 out of 4, 20 points out of 30 on this practice test. Get out here for a few that so I don't bother you too much. You got it figured out, everything good? You know what to do? Go to the website. All right, let's take a look at the next one here. All right, this next guy, he has a TOEFL test in about 3 or 4 days, so he's doing 3 practice tests every day. So here he's doing task 1, task 4, and task 6. Okay, let me talk to him. Yeah, hi there. These comments are for Zapata 207, and I am Michael, the founder, owner, and the materials writer for all of your lessons at the 7-step system to pass the TOEFL IBT. And I'm going to listen to, this is an independent speaking task number 1. So the question is, some people think that children should be allowed to watch whatever television programs they choose. Others think that parents should exercise control over the programs their children watch. Which do you agree with? Explain why. All right.
Personally, I disagree with this statement. First of all,
it's not really disagreeing with it. It's which opinion do you agree with? So when you say I disagree with this statement, it doesn't make any sense. You have to say, in my opinion, I think that parents should be able to exercise control over the programs their children watch. Then maybe you state 2 support points at that point. So it's a little bit odd how you started your response.
I think there are lots of TV programs that are not appropriate for children. For example, boxing and fighting shows are very cruel and are not created for children. Also, I think if we let our children to watch whatever they want, they probably get addicted to television. And in future, quitting from watching TV would be very hard for them. That's why they probably would get low scores in school. The reading.
Okay, so I think overall you answered the question, but your introduction was a little bit odd. I think you could have been a little more focused with that. So that would be that's a topic development question. So you might say something like this. You might want to say, because some shows are too violent and watching too much TV can lower students or children's grades at school, I think that children should be able to choose which programs their children watch and how frequently. You might say something like that. So then you have your 2 support points. Then you can organize your response around those 2 key ideas. I think that would give you a little bit more coherent organization. Now, if you're not sure how to organize like this, go to speaking lesson number 2. I'll give you some good tips on how you can organize this type of response. And remember that I have 300 independent speaking topics at my website in the speaking section, so you're welcome to choose any of those topics that you can post also. All right? So your score here, I think maybe some topic development issues. Overall, I think your delivery wasn't too bad. I could understand everything you were saying. You had pretty good control over your language use. I'm going to put you at about 23 points out of 30, 3.0 out of 4 on this practice test. All right, let's go to number 4. This is task 4, the technique of questioning awareness of effect.
Passage offers a general definition of a technique named questioning. The reading passage offers a general definition of a technique named questioning awareness of effect.
Okay.
And in the listening passage, the professor uses an example to illustrate this concept.
Now that was good. It took you too long to say it, so I'd like to see you try to cut this down to 10 to 12 seconds because you're speaking a little bit too slowly, so you need to be more comfortable speaking more quickly. So how quickly? How do you know what your speed is? If you go through some of my pronunciation lessons, you'll notice at the end of each lesson there's a paragraph, and you can practice reading the paragraph with me. So if you do that, that will give you a pretty good idea of what your speed is or what it should be. Okay, so on this one, let's take a look at the rubrics here to see how we're doing. Or let's keep going with it. I got distracted there, sorry about that. Here we go.
According to the reading, he had a general rule in all of his classes that the students who want to answer a question should raise their hand. One of the students always disobeyed this rule and answered the questions without getting permission. Once the professor asked this student whether she knew that she is doing some act that is unfair to other students. After that, the girl changed her disruptive behavior.
Okay.
The professor.
Okay, so I think overall you had a pretty complete and accurate response, so that's good. So let's click on the rubrics for this practice test. Okay, so I think on this you need to work a little bit more on the delivery areas. So you're just simply speaking a little bit too slowly. So if you go to pronunciation lessons 41 through 44, these are called thought groups and blending, and see if you can get to where you're saying 5 or 6 stress words, then you have a pause, another 5 or 6 stress words followed by another pause, and so on, and that will help you speak a little bit faster. All right, so I think overall though you had a pretty good response. So I'm going to put you on this one between 23 and 24 points out of 30, or 3.0 to 3.1 out of 4. So if you didn't get the score 4 on this, probably because of some delivery issues. All right? Okay, let's go to the next one. So in this case, we have task 6. So there is a professor giving a lecture, and it looks like the topic, 2 different types of underground adaptation. You said, I worked on my stress and delivery. Any difference? I tried to pronounce more clearly, and also I did all tasks of stress section. Again, so you're doing a lot of practice. I like that. And you're asking for feedback right now, and that's what I will do. Let's see. So based on your request, I'm going to give you feedback with your word stress and how that is helping or hurting your delivery. The last one, I thought it was good. So to give you feedback in that area, the very last speaking task, I didn't notice any major problems with word stress.
A general explanation of adaptations of animals that live.
Let me go back again.
The professor offers a general explanation of adaptations of animals that live underground. She enumerates and explains 2 of these adaptations. First, adaptations that help the animal to move fastly underground. For example,
Now, you don't say that help the animal move fastly. You can say to help the animal move quickly or help the animal move fast. So believe it or not, I don't know why, but fast is both an adjective and an adverb. So we don't put ly on the word fast to make it an adverb. So that's an exception. I know that we put ly on many words, but not that one.
has a strong front feet that help it to dig the dirt against it and lose it up, so it can move fastly. Another
So it can move quickly.
that is offered by Professor is those that help the animal to protect the vulnerable part of its body. For example, moles have a thick, hairy skin on its eye. This skin helps move to protect its eye from
the professor suggests helps the animal too. So again, you need to put more of those voice markers in the lecture here so we can understand where this information is coming from, especially when you get about 40 or 50 seconds from the introduction. You definitely want to remind us that you are summarizing someone else's ideas.
particles.
I think you're okay on the word stress. I mean, I would point them out. I didn't notice any major problems with word stress there, so I think that your practice is helping you. The big story here is the language use. You remember the word fast versus quick versus quickly, and we don't really use the word fastly. So you had problems with that particular word form 2 times during the response. You did have some minor delivery issues, so you are speaking a little bit too slowly. I'd like you to work on speaking more quickly. This is one change I'd like you to make in your practice as you're getting ready for your TOEFL test, which is coming up, I know, in just a few days. So your score here, I think some minor issues with delivery, some minor language use issues. So I'm going to put you at 3.0 out of 4, 23 points out of 30 on this practice test. All right? I think I'm almost done here. Okay, now we have one more. Hi there, these comments are for SSA, and I am Michael, the founder owner and the materials writer for all of your lessons at the 7-step system to pass the TOEFL IBT. And I'm going to listen to independent speaking practice test number 29. So this one. It says, this actually appeared on the TOEFL IBT exam. Wow. So it says, talk about a situation when you had difficulties. Who helped you find the solution? Describe the situation and how it ended. Okay, here we go.
One of the difficult situations is that I had when my children got sick in the middle of the night the day before my surgery. It was really difficult.
The day before your what? Hold on.
My children got sick in the middle of the night the day before my surgery. It was really
The day before my surgery. Surgery. So you didn't clearly pronounce that word.
because I had the plan to put them in the schools in that time, and I wouldn't be able to do that because they have a contagious disease. Within the same time, I wouldn't be able to postpone my surgery. So I decided in that time.
I would just say they had a contagious illness. I probably would use the word disease. That's probably a little bit too strong. If they had the flu or they had a cold, something like that, I would refer to it as an illness, not as a disease. A disease is a more long-term, more permanent, a more serious type health condition.
To try to find someone to sit with them, but the problem that I was away from my family, and most of my friends have children. So in the morning I called one of...
You might want to say most of my friends were too busy because they also had or have children.
The teachers in the school, she had that day off, so she managed...
I'll say the teacher at the school, not she, but the teacher at the school had this day off, so I think you're using unnecessary word in there.
I called one of the teachers in the school, she had that day off.
I would say who had that day off, not she had that day off. So if you're using who goes back to she, you're using what's called an adjective clause, and that's probably more correct. It's also showing that you have some more advanced grammar.
So she managed to take care of them.
Okay, so overall, yeah, this one you struggle with. You struggle with a little bit, but you did answer the question, I think, as best you can. I think overall, if we look at the rubrics, you had some minor issues with your language use. I think also with your delivery. So I'm going to take it down a few points because of that. I'm going to put you at 3.0 out of 4, or 23 points out of 30 on this practice test. All right, thank you.